Ibrahim alayhi salam. Another great quality that he had was that he was a person who had a very soft heart. He was a person who would melt, whose heart would melt. And as soon as he would face any difficulty, as soon as he would be in trouble, as soon as he would find that things are getting a bit tough, he would turn towards Allah and present his matters to Allah in a humble manner, in a manner where he would acknowledge to Allah that, Ya Allah, I am helpless, Ya Allah, I am weak. He would not be shy of crying in front of Allah and mentioning his difficulties to Allah. I'm not using the word complaining, because when you mention them to Allah, you're not complaining. Because to Allah you don't complain. To Allah you express the difficulty that you are in, knowing that Allah has the power to take you out. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in different places mentions that Inna Ibrahima l'awwahun halim, that Ibrahim alayhi salam was truly a tender-hearted, and he was also forbearing. He was Halim. What is Halim? Halim is a person who doesn't react. His forbearance is that you don't react to things. You let it be, aista aista. Let's see where it goes. Doesn't react to things. In another place, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that truly Ibrahim alayhi salam was a forbearing, he was Halim, and a tender-hearted person, ever turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Awwahun munib. He never felt shy to turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was grateful for the blessings that he had, and for the troubles that he had. He did not sit with his friend and say, Yaar, meri to kismat hi kharab. No, I'm cursed. I have such bad luck. He did not say things like these. So he was Halim and he was Awwah. Another thing that Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam had that earned him the title of Khalilullah. Khalilullah is a big title. What does Khalilullah mean? Friend of Allah. We keep on working towards, we get walayat of Allah, we become wali of Allah, become friend of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declared that there is a friend of mine. No other prophet had this title. No other prophet. But Ibrahim alayhi salam became a friend of Allah. Now always when we mention about Ibrahim alayhi salam, if this question comes in your mind about what about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had already declared him far above everything. His title is also above. One is a friend and one is beloved. Who's closer? Beloved. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is Habibullah. Right? So this entire talk, while giving the examples of Ibrahim alayhi salam and telling that he's so great, he is indeed. But of course, it's not a comparison with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, so take it like that. Don't let shaitan distract you and bring these question marks in your mind. So he's Khalilullah. And the thing that makes him a Khalilullah is because he fulfills the absolute definition of a moment, that is that he loved Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in an extreme manner. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ. Those who are people of Iman, they are extreme in their love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Their love flows from them. And Ibrahim alayhi salam was also a person. There's a very famous incident about Ibrahim alayhi salam, that when he was a shepherd, he was in the forest with his sheep, and an angel was sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a test to find out how much he loved Allah. And the angel came in the form of a man and was passing by. He said, Subhana zil mulki wal malakut, Subhana zil izzati wal azmati wal haybati wal qudrati wal kibriyai wal jabarut. He said these words of praise about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Ibrahim alayhi salam, he heard these and suddenly like, I have not heard Allah being praised in this manner. The sign of somebody being beloved to you is that when that person is mentioned to you, your heartbeat increases. It brings in excitement in your heart. Right? That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that when in the front of moments Allah's zikr is done, it has an impact on their heart. Right? So it has an impact, it had an impact on the heart of Ibrahim alayhi salam. He was instantly attracted. So he went to that person and he said, listen, I just heard you say something. Can you please say it one more time? He said, yes, I can, but why should I do it free of cost? What is it that you can give me? He said, I will give you half of my sheep. Just say it one more time. So I said, okay. So he read the same thing again. Subhana zil mulki wal malakut, Subhana zil izzati wal azmati wal haybati wal qudrati wal kibriyai wal jabarut. And he said, Subhanallah, this is too good. you know what, I'm not satisfied. I want to hear it one more time. Please, one more time. He said, what will you give me now? He said, you take half of the rest, other half of my sheep as well. So I said, okay. So he read this again. But dil kahan bharta? His heart wasn't satisfied. He said, one more time, please. He said, okay, if I read it one more time, what will you give me now? You have no sheep left. He said, look, you would surely need a shepherd for all these sheep. I will be your slave and I'll be the shepherd of these sheep. Just read them one more time. So that angel said, like, Ibrahim, indeed you have passed the test. I had come here to know your love for Allah, and indeed you have passed your test. That was the Qalbun Salim that he had. That was the heart that was filled with love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was a thankful heart. It was a heart which turned to Allah. It was tender and soft. It turned to Allah every time he needed something, and it turned to Allah with love.